I am live. Hello, everyone. I don't know how many people are out there, or if any people are out there just yet, but I am here. I'm doing the Oracle chat today on my own. Erin is feeling under the weather at the moment, so we're giving her a day off because everyone deserves a day off when they're feeling under the weather. So today, hello, Stacy. I really didn't even think about, well, I didn't prepare what I wanted to talk about because mainly, hi, Tia. What I wanted to, if before questions begin, I was going to talk about, well, death, because I've had a few in the last couple, well, I've had two in the last 2 weeks, significant ones. And it reminded me, it hearkened me back to what it feels like when people cross over on you. That feeling of, well, first off, the one I'm never going to see them again. Hello, May. Yes, you're catching me live. um, that feeling of well, loss. And I know that sounds so incredibly, it's a feeling of loss when we lose someone, when they pass over, but it's an actual feeling of loss. Like, one of the deaths that happened, and the first death that happened, was an expected death. It was a member of my family that has been trying to stay here in with breast cancer. Hello, Tony. Hello, Debbie. Hello, Sarah. Um, and when she finally did leave, it still shocked me. It still made me think that I had left stuff unsaid. It still made me think that it made me think the finality of it. It made me think, hello, Carrie. It made me think of what death actually means to us. And so I kind of wanted to talk about, I told myself I wouldn't cry, trying not to get too emotional. And I do apologize for getting emotional. But even though I know, and I know where she is, I have been in communication with her, I have watched her, I still feel selfish loss. I still feel that I have lost something. It's so nice to see you too, Verna. Hello, Amy. Hello, Lisa. Oh, I can do readings, Tia. If anyone has connections that they would like me to make, I am more than happy to make those connections for you if I can. And I'm going to try to be random. I tried to just do as they came in last time, and I totally screwed it up, apparently. So I will try to do it randomly. Thank you very much, Lori Ann. I know that you are suffering the loss as well. Okie dokie. Now, if you do have questions that you would like answered, please go ahead and add them to the feed because I will. Thank you very much, Lisa. Yeah, and it's funny too. I guess, hello, Nikki. Possibly all love is selfish. Maybe, I guess. That's a toughie, isn't it? Is all love selfish, or the way that we love? Because, well, I don't know that I think maybe loss would be, but I don't think that love would be. Um, hello, Ashley. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Carrie. Yeah, we are allowed to grieve, and you have to. I had to tell myself it was okay to cry because um, it's in my head that when we cry too much for somebody, that their hearts start to bleed, the bleeding heart, sorry, they're that way, and that we actually affect their time on the other side. But at the same time, I think at first you really kind of have to cry for you. You have to tell yourself it's okay about the loss that you have felt. Um, Okie dokie. I'm going to jump right into Tia and her son. Who wants her to know that he has grown on the other side. He is a bigger and better boy than he was The day he left you, I don't know, he's showing me a skateboard. A skateboard is usually a symbol for someone who's crossed over at an adolescent or a younger age. The skateboard symbolizes youth, or he could be a person who rode a skateboard. Um, he also, you pray for him or you do something for him that helps him, and he is liking it to the Hunger Games. I don't know if you've read the books or seen the movies, but the people who are watching the kids who are fighting for their lives can actually spend money to send things to the people to make their time easier. The way your son is making it look, all your prayers and all your hopes and all your dreams for him are actually coming up like gifts to him on the other side. He sees you, he feels you, and there's dad. He's talking about dad. He's kissing and giving love to dad. Obviously, he's giving love to you, but he's adding that in. I don't know what is dad's head's crazy or something. Um, Okie dokie. Okie dokie. He says, I love you, mom. And he also says, keep doing what you're doing, but don't cry so much. Which it's been years, so I don't know how much you're crying. But it might be that you are feeling loaded down by your grief. And he would like you to feel as up as he is feeling from your love for him on the other side. He needs you to catch up with him a little bit. He says, or when you cross over, he's going to have to dust off your knees from all the praying you're doing. And I don't know if you're actually getting on your knees and you're praying for his soul, or if everything that you do and think and feel has to do with whether or not he's okay and making him feeling better and things like that. So he wants you to actually turn that back on yourself a little bit. That will help him. You being happy is what will help him. You having a good time, that's what makes him happy. Okie dokie. All righty. Now I hope that helps to you. Okie dokie. So I'm going to try to be actually a little bit random, and I hope that's okay with everyone. I haven't done a reading one in a long time, so I know that people are anxious, and it won't be the last time. When I get my poop in a group, we will have a Connections Monday. Okie dokie. Now, oh, excellent, Carrie. Carrie has asked, what's a good way to level up to connect with her mom? Which is perfect, a perfect question after what we just heard from Tia's son, because he pretty much just told her to level up so she can communicate with him better. So, ways to level up so you can communicate with someone. Well, the first thing I actually even hear is believe you can. Believe it, believe it, believe it. Even if every member of your family thinks you're cuckoo, because they might. And mostly they'll just be jealous that you're communicating or even trying to. Also, I know everyone is sick of hearing me say it, but meditation is key. It means so much for you to meditate, because when we meditate, we actually learn how to control the mind. And by learning how to control the mind, we learn how to make it go shush, 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 so we can actually hear the soul and hear how we hear things. I have had the dead inundating me my entire lifetime, but it wasn't actually until meditation became a part of my life that I figured out exactly what people were saying. Before that, it was even, but yeah, even with my own loved ones, but there's actually more of a with your own loved ones. For one, because you can't get confirmation from a third party, because you, everyone always says, are you actually saying that? Or do I want you to say that? So therefore, that's what you're doing. I did that all the time with my dad, all the darn time, which when I would do it with my dad, he'd give me poop for doing it because of how much it took for him to come and appear to me and sit and talk to me. And then I was second guessing his ability to do this, because that's what I was doing. I know it seems like I was second guessing my ability to see him, but in a reality, I was second guessing his ability to appear to me, because I know he's on the other side. I know he's still around. So, one of the ways to level up is to believe you can. It's like the biggest thing. Believing you can see will help you to see. There's actually a line from the Santa Claus. That's a perfect line from that. Believing is seeing and seeing is believing, because it is very, very, very true. Okie dokie. Now, May. May, it's super specific. Super inspecific. If there is a particular person, May, you might want to actually just write their name in, and then they will be the one that can come through the quickest, because I think you have a few people, five at the very, very least, that I can see. And I don't know if it is your mom and dad, or you are the mom and dad. Not that you're a dad, but you could be. I don't know. But I'm hearing mom and dad, and then I see the people around them. And my thinking is that it's your mother and your father and your possibly your grandmother and your grandpa, and I think your mother-in-law. But if we just went by a name, then that would work. And you don't even need to give the title. Names are much, much better than titles, because then I don't have to. Yeah. Anyway. Oh, you're welcome, Tia. Absolutely. Okie dokie. Now, I'm going to quickly go into okie dokie. Faye. May, I don't know if Faye is your mother or related to you through your mother, the same. But whatever it is, she's taking something off her head and she's bestowing it upon you. My thinking is it's some sort of gift or something that you can do that she could do, or something that now is being passed on to you. And it could be the matriarch of the family, because it is a crown, it is queen. Also, do I have to say I love you? I think you know that they love you, or they wouldn't be coming through. And okie dokie. I'm seeing a file cabinet, so that usually has to do with work. It's such a weird thing. She's showing you pivoting, or actually pivoting in your work, or going into a retirement and finding a pivot there. I don't know if you're frazzled or if you're stressed out, but she's showing it as though you are. And I actually don't know if you're losing hair due to your the stress that you are under. Uh, but there might be something that, because your feet need to move. They almost are growing roots in some sort of way. Okie dokie. Now, Debbie McLaughlin used to find dimes everywhere. Not so much. Am I missing the signs my loved ones are around now? Sometimes they can change. I actually really only find dimes with one person. The person who just recently passed away, I know she left a dime, but it was more like generic hello. She also flew a bird into my window so hard, the poor little bird looked like his little brain got scrambled a little bit. So sometimes it can be dimes, it can be birds, it can be smells. My nanny, my mother's mother, it's always a smell with her. My cousin Colin, it's something right over here. So each and every person will have their different ways. And if it used to be dimes, it might be that your communication level is rising, and you have to realize that you are rising with it, Debbie. It's quite possible. Okie dokie. Now I'm going to go back a little bit so that I am being fair. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Ashley would like to know if the fella she is with is, or possibly the one she is waiting for. Um, I actually immediately got a yes. And I don't want to blow smoke up your fanny, and I hope that's absolutely right. But yeah, I got a yes. I actually heard you could get pregnant with this one. They show he's in like Flynn. He's bought the cow and he doesn't want to get the milk for free. That's the way they put it. So that seems like all good things to me. The variable might be you. I'm not sure if you second guess, or if some red flags that you look for is something that is, how we are with our red flags and things like that. They show you like you're digging through soil. And when you get to like a hard part, you actually just dig it out and you get this really nice rock that becomes, you have to dig deeper into the soil. because sometimes you can find something hard and it actually becomes a beautiful thing. I find beautiful rocks in the soil all the time, and then they become the decoration around the plant. So there might be a hard surface in him that you just need to bring out, and that might be the thing that's so wonderful and beautiful, because sometimes we like men to be like men. Okie dokie. Now, okie dokie. Thank you, Leanne. Thank you very, very, very much. Yes. Leanne knew of my my lady who passed. And yes, she was an amazing human being and an amazing part of the community that she was in. And we are going to celebrate her at Rowntree Hall, the hall that was named after her. See, she's making my name more famous. Okie dokie. Rosemary, I am being attracted towards your question, and your question, like May's, was very general. It was there a message for me, a loved one for me, or my kids. Now, I immediately got drawn towards you, and I hear the word grandfather. So I don't know if it's your children's grandfather or if it's your grandfather. I actually think it's them. He's showing me a black Bible, and I don't, yeah. And he's showing me, I don't know that I have it right that he is your children's grandfather, because it feels like I've missed something in there, or I have something slightly incorrect. He shows me a black Bible, which he wants me to symbolize as faith in a higher power. He would like for you to instill that in them because of what he sees behind him. And I will agree with him. Faith makes a massive difference to people on the other side. Belief that there is something larger and bigger than you is absolutely huge, having to do with your time on the other side. Actually, go to a bit of a higher place because you already got your poop in a group in here. So, okie dokie. I hope that helped, Rosemary. Rosemary. I love rosemary, actually, the plant. Okie dokie. Heather Hill hopes everyone is having a beautiful Sunday, and I love that. Thank you, Heather. Yes, it is a lovely day out there. Even if it wasn't a lovely day, it would still be a beautiful Sunday because it's a Sunday. Yes. Now, Nikki would like to know about her career path. Okie dokie. They actually show you changing track. Like you're a train, and when they do the thing and you're still going to the same destination, but you're taking a little bit of a different track there. They want you to be open to the idea, because it might actually be that you get presented with an opportunity within your career that might not seem like an opportunity, might seem like a lateral move, or maybe even an annoyance, but it may give you experience and exposure that will help you in the end. It's almost like this little pivot has been given to you, so that when you get to the end, you are even more filled with accolade. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Josie, Chelsea, when I see you, I don't know if you're on your phone or on your computer, but I can see her standing right behind you. She may even be doing something around here on your neck just to let you know that she's there. And she is calling you Auntie. She is also, I don't know if you have a picture of her that you can see from where you are. It's like she's pointing towards it. If it's not a picture, it might be something that symbolizes her. She's actually picking you up from your armpits. And I don't know if you're Indigenous, but she's showing me a lot of stuff that makes me think that you might be. She's showing me fire. She's showing you, she's showing it that she wants you to get up, and she wants you to not be sad about her spirit being gone. She wants you to herald her spirit being gone. I see this as an untimely passing, and possibly one that Chelsea may have set in pattern for herself in some sort of way. So she wants to be seen like a warrior, or that she's been made an example of, or something to that effect. But she wants the praises sung, or something about her sung. She doesn't want herself to pass in vain. And I'm not Well, obviously, I'm not sure what that entails. It's so different when people can't talk back to me. Okie dokie. Um, Okie dokie. Jill is asking about her workplace warnings, wondering if the dimes I find always at work every night. Anything about my, I see. Okie dokie. Actually, I hear saying hello to you. And I don't know if you're the nighttime janitor in a school, because I always look at people who are nighttime custodians at school and I think, oh my God, I'm so nervous because I find school so haunted. But yeah, I actually think that whomever is leaving you the dimes is actually might be following you around on your job. They are absolutely no danger to you. It's more like, oh, look, somebody's here. And I actually think you can sense them. And that is why they're leaving you the dimes so that you will say, hi, how are you? Because I would think you'd be super, super lonely. But to have no one visit you when you're on the other side, to have yeah, I actually had they just likened it to being in an elderly living home or a seniors living home and having no one visit you ever. That's what it might be like on the other side when no one tries to contact you. That's the way that they're showing it. Now, Sarah, I'm not quite sure what you asked. All I see is anything, but they immediately pointed me towards you and they showed me your head and they showed stitches all through your head. I don't know if you've actually had an operation here or if stuff you are doing and work you are doing is actually rebuilding pathways in your mind. I would actually, they're showing me pranayama. So I'm going to go and assume that stuff you are doing is actually rebuilding pathways in your mind because pranayama can help to do that as well. Or they're telling me to tell you that maybe you want to add pranayama, which is one of the 8 limbs of yoga, which is pretty much breath of life, to your repertoire of your self healing. They are also showing me artwork. And everyone out there, Sarah does beautiful, really neat artwork. They're showing me that. And whatever it is that you've moved into in the next phase of your artistic work, I think actually might be helping. They're showing it being 3D. I don't know if it actually is 3D or if they're showing that it, even if it's 2-dimensional, it's becoming 3-dimensional in your mind and thus helping your mind. And they want you to jump off from there. They want you to actually start moving into calming pattern meditation, not so much meditation for opening your third eye and crown, more meditation for mindfulness. Actual traditional, like Buddhist or Tibetan types of meditation. That actually sounds like a lot of fun to me, but I think meditation's fun. I hope that helped. Okie dokie. Now, Divya, I hope I am saying your name correctly. It's such a great name. I think you might be worrying about your mom because the first thing I hear is don't worry so much about me. It's kind of like the way that your mother is likening this. She's showing herself. Remember when we were kids and our mothers would go out for dinner or out to an event and they smelled like makeup and they had their fancy stuff on and then they'd phone us while we were with the sitter. That's what this is like. That's what this reminds me of. She's trying to let you know she's out and about and having a wonderful time, and you don't know where she is, and all you are is at home, and nothing has changed for you. So you have no idea how much fun she's having. I just heard, nor do you need to know. That's what she said. Because she thinks you don't need to know that she's having fun without you. There's a lot of guilt. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Um, you did such a great job for her. She says, I love you so much. You did such a great job for me. She also, I don't know if it's since losing her, it's like the whole family is up in the air, or because everything seems to be like this, like that core being that used to actually keep everyone grounded to each other has disappeared. Okie dokie. She says, you don't need to be that for me. You don't need to take over again. Um, because that's like the sick actually helping the sick to get well. I actually think you need to take some time. I actually think, you might need some pampering, Divya. I think I'm seeing salt tubs, and it could be that she is moving into the salt tub idea because salt tubs for me are downloading places. That's where I go to listen to all the people that I need to listen to. It might be that when you get into the salt tub, yeah, I actually think your mom wants to try to get in touch with you there. She can't talk to you when you're in the car because you're driving. She can't talk to you. I don't know if you have kids, but it looks like you have kids. It looks like she can't talk to you when you're around your kids because you're focused on them. Myself, when my kids were little and I would meditate before readings, if I saw my kids between the time I saw my client and had the meditation, kaboom, it was all gone because I became a mom. So it's quite possible that you are similar in some sort of way, or that your distractions are as severe as mine were. So she wants you to go into a nice, quiet, dark tub with some candles and some salt and possibly some quartz crystals in there. She's showing me purple quartz crystals. So to my mind, it's third eye and crown. She's trying to get you to come and say hello to her. And it's only between you and her. If you start having a conversation with your mom in the tub and you think, oh my God, everyone would think I'm insane if they saw me doing this, then just don't tell them. Just have your conversation in the tub with your mom because she really wants you to. She wants to talk to you because she wants to make you feel better. She's actually rubbing your feet right now. Okie dokie. Now, hello, Leah. Hello, Jill. Um, okay, yes, we already talked about Jill. Thank you, Jill. You're welcome, Nikki. Okie dokie. So I'm going to go to Debbie right now. And I can't help but see that. Oh, there we go. Because it's all in caps. Okie dokie. That's a lot in one question. Okie doke. So, spirit guides, first off, I think that's super duper personal. That is me. And we all have them. We all have different amounts of spirit guides, actually, kind of based on the contract that you signed to come here, the thing that you decided you were going to do in order to better your soul. Because that's the only reason we come here is to come here one way and leave a better way and leave this place better than when we came, than when we found it. When I look at the back to school thing, I see 6 months. So I'm not quite sure because it would be September. What is that? That's not 6 months from now. It would be 6 months from now if we were in March. But, okay. They say shoot for the sky, and the sky you will be in. So to me, that means that this lifelong dream of becoming a flight attendant might actually be at your fingertips. They actually, you might have to pay some dues to get there. And that's the thing that I see in front of you. It reminds me very much of the substitute teacher dues. Like you can become a teacher, but you might not get a posting that is steady for years. So it might be something like that. It might become like, okay, I signed up to be a flight attendant and I'm a bag checker. What the heck's going on around here? They say, head down, do your time. So it sounds good to me. I'm hoping that's actually true. Okie dokie. Now, here we go. More. Oh, I want to go back. Nikki. Nicola. My apologies. Nicola. Okie dokie. Now, you had written somewhere around about your mother, I believe, because I actually hear mom, mother, mum, and I hear Happy Mother's Day, or I see a card that says Happy Mother's Day. I don't know if you commemorated your mother on Mother's Day and she is letting you know that she saw it by giving me the Happy Mother's Day card in my head. It's actually the first time I've seen a Happy Mother's Day card in my head. Also, are you a mummy? Or are you pregnant? Or do you want to be a mummy? Because it kind of feels like you could be a pending mummy, or that maybe your mom wants you to concentrate on your children. I'm not entirely sure. It's so hard when people aren't here to tell me. Also, yeah, and I heard this when I started going in, your dad. There's something about dad. And I don't know if your mother's crossed over and you still have your dad, and what she wants you to concentrate on is not that she is gone, but that he is still here. That is kind of, but that's kind of it, but it's not entirely it, is it? There's something a little bit different that I am missing in there. And your mother just said she knows what it is. So if you actually do know what it is, um, so I asked her if she does know what it is, can you give me another clue that would actually help her to understand a little bit? And she showed me cheese, a piece of cheese. But I have to say the things I see, and maybe it's not a piece of cheese, maybe it's just a square orange rectangle, but it looks like a piece of cheese. So I'm not sure what that means. She is kissing you on the forehead, and she is telling you she loves you. She is also indicating that, like, this is something she actually used to do or something she might be doing. And the fact that she's kissing you right here means so much to me. Right here is where the Good Witch of the North kissed Dorothy to protect her from dark magic. Right here is where your third eye is. I know right here is where parents tend to kiss their children because it is a non sexual way to kiss a face besides the cheek. But I think she's meaning something when she kisses you right here, and you are laying in bed at the time. So, Nicola, you might either want to, if you cannot remember your dreams voluntarily, you might want to put pad and pen next to your bedside table so that when you wake up, you just start writing down the things that are popping into your head. And then maybe you'll remember some of your dreams, or ask to. I actually hear ask to remember your dreams. And you actually might get to remember your dreams, like kind of asking it is given. That's the way the world works. Okie dokie. And I'm going to randomly pop again. Okie dokie. Oh, Jill works in a liquor store. Okay, that's funny how I saw it as an elementary school. Okie dokie. Moana. Am I saying that correctly, or am I influenced by the show? I'm not sure. Okie dokie. There's a lot of mom loss, eh? What's up with that? Okie dokie. Okie dokie. I understand. With other, okay, Moana was like wondering. I really, really, really pray that I am not butchering your name, and I apologize if I am. Um, okay, you can clearly communicate with other people's loved ones, but your own loved ones, I know, because with your own loved ones, and I was actually talking about this when we first started the broadcast, your own loved ones, they're so familiar to you. They're so incredibly familiar that when they start to come in, you don't know if it's your feelings for them or if it's actually even them, because that's how confusing it can get. Because when people have crossed over, they actually, when you enter a room, can infuse you with all the feelings that they feel for you and all the feelings that you feel for them. And that can actually make you think, oh my God, I mourn them so much, blah, 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 things like that, rather than it would make you think, oh, they're right here in the room. How wonderful. I think I'm so glad I can feel this again. So, one of the ways, and I'm hearing it right now, that your mother would like you to, because she says you don't believe yourself, which I totally get. I go through times like that with my dad in a massive, massive way. Give her things. Tell her, okay, mom, I need you to do this, and make it specific, but not wildly specific. Make it so that, because, and you might already know this, if you're communicating with other people's dead, then you know when they do something, like they physically move something in the house, it can like move a quarter of an inch or half an inch rather than across the room like you would assume in a movie or something like that. It can be so incredibly subtle, and it can be so incredibly moving inside of you. One of the reasons that I know when it's somebody on the other side asking me or saying something is that I can feel that it's foreign. I can feel that, okay, that's a little bit different. That's not the way I think. That's not the way I feel. That I know that it's somebody else there. So ask your mom to be specific, because She is trying to communicate with you, I think. And I actually think she's gone up here with communication, and you're expecting her down here while she's up there screaming from the treetops. So I kind of think you both have to kind of meet in the middle. You think that she's a little bit more of a communicator than you thought she might be, and she can bring it back down to you if you tell her what to do, she says. She does that. Like, I don't know what to do, but okie dokie. Because she says this communication has to be you. It has to be something that is initiated by you, brought forward by you, and um, okie dokie. The parameters need to be set by you. Okie dokie. Now, okie dokie. What should Denise would like to know what she should concentrate on during the next few months? And I get one very large word screaming in my head, and it's you. It's 100% you. Okay, now they're telling me you're still in the grieving healing process, which I totally and absolutely validate completely. Well, I would never invalidate someone's grieving, but I know you. And I know your situation. So, I can't talk to you without having him. Uh, and now, I don't know what was he working on something? Because he says pick up where I left off. And I'm not entirely sure what the heck that means. Because when they show you concentrating on you, you are still concentrating on making sure other mothers don't go through what you've gone through. That's what I see, and that's what I hear. And good for you. Because well done. And he says it too. And it's the nature. It's the being in the woods. I don't know if you have an idea having to do with the woods and having to do with retreats of any kind. I can't imagine. And it might be something that you might want to take, but I am being shown by your son the same thing I was shown so long ago. He is showing me the campground, and I don't know if you'll remember it, but I remember it very vividly because he's bringing it back into my head, and all the red that was around it. Red to me is comfort, security, money. It's root chakra, but can also be anger. And I don't think it's anger that he's trying to convey. I think it's comfort and security and grounding. Oh, grounding. How could I have forgotten that one, eh? And take that dad too. He needs to go fish, feel the water, be around it, be in the woods a little bit, and maybe in that particular part of the woods too. He says he loves you. He loves all three of you. And given the choice, he would not do that again. He would not. But he has. And I'm supposed to say, I love you, Mom. He would not do it again because he wouldn't do it to you, by the way. Leslie has a good story about angels. She asked her angels to show her dreams, and then she was seeing her dreams, and then she asked them to stifle it ever so slightly. Not her words, mine. And they did. They are very compliant, aren't they? They're very, very helpful. And that helps other folks to see that all you have to do is ask, and your angels will actually do what you need, especially when it's something that you need. I see. I apologize, Debbie, as I now know why you're doing all caps. Thank you very much. This actually was a gift given to me by my uncle and aunt on my 50th birthday. It is made by a local artisan, I believe, but I don't know who her name is. I'm sorry. Oh, hello, Julie. I see blue, but I'm wrong 50% of the time, but I do see a blue blanket. So traditional colors for boys and girls, pink and blue. And I think that, yes, Julie would like to know, oh, I should do this. What a dum dum. Yeah, we have a wee baby or a wee lass on the way. Hello, Bobby. I see blue. So, but yes, I'm wrong 50% of the time. And I believe one of my kids changed gender 2 weeks before she was born. Sure, she was a boy. Okie dokie. Up we go. Ah, Tanya, your own. Oh, yeah. And would it be metaphysically based on by your standards? And would it even be an Etsy sort of situation by your standards? But I actually hear consulting firm, which that sounds in yeah. Uh, And now I actually hear the Fleetwood Mac song, Don't Stop. Don't stop thinking about tomorrow. Don't stop. It'll soon be here. So if an you have an entrepreneurial spirit and an entrepreneurial vibe, but they give me the 3-2. So whatever it is that you're doing for a living, you might want to just slowly ease yourself out of it, only because we can freak ourselves out when we let go of an income in lieu of something that actually has to do with the basis of our work, and then freak out and then it not go well because, well, money is energy and it's attracted to energy, and it's attracted to energy that is attracted to it. So that's why they do the 3-2. I would actually even start working on what it is that you think you might want to work on. It is super scary to jump ship. I completely and absolutely agree. But at the same time, I actually hear nothing ventured, nothing gained. They got a lot of cliches for you today. A lot. Okie dokie. Now, not very Pacific, Cassandra, but I don't know what you're supposed to be pushing away. It looks, I always think of the veil as like curtains. And it could be that a message from the other side to you is to actually push back the curtains and pull yourself through the veil a little bit. Listen more closely and believe you can. I don't know who that is, but you can hear me. That's what I'm being told to tell you. And sometimes it might actually sound like in your head, some sort of high pitched constant, or that thing we do. Every time I do that, I go, what? Because I know somebody's trying to talk to me and they're talking in a frequency I cannot seem to hear. Okie dokie. Now I'm going to go back up and hope that people are. Okie dokie. Communicate with your mom. Hola. Jerry. Okie dokie. Oh, okay. I actually see, oh gosh, it looks so cool. I wish you could see it too. I actually see it almost like I don't even know what's opening up, but I can see an opening up and I can see a rainbow in the background. It's like, if this better be what I walk into when I cross over. Not to say that you're going to cross over, but it looks like an Avalon sort of idea. And to me, that is things getting easier. It's actually like your manifestations coming to fruition. And your husband's trying to help. But I don't know if he was a clumsy oaf when he was here or if he's a clumsy oaf now on the other side because he's trying so hard to communicate. But I'm being told to tell you to let him. I believe it's your husband. And they tell me now these paintings. Are these your paintings that you are painting? That would be my idea. And I actually think there might be another family member who paints as well. They want you to keep going with the paintings. You're painting soul stuff. You're painting something like you're painting inner angst. You're painting stuff coming out of you. It's therapeutic painting. So they want you to continue to do it because It's the best thing for you. There is an awful lot of scar tissue in you, an awful, awful lot. And there's so much scar tissue, meaning that there are so many things that you have been through, so many avenues, you've been there, done that. It is really, really, I don't know if you're looking at eventually doing a counseling sort of thing, or if eventually you want to use your intuitive abilities to, at the very, very, very least, counsel the people in your community or your family, but you're on your way there. And mm, grounding and getting yourself out of the way. That's like the biggest thing. Getting ourselves out of our own way is a huge thing. Okay, so that's what they would like you to do in order to go a little bit further. Okie dokie. Now, okie dokie, Jessica, that would be very, very confusing. Let me just ask. Ah, I think actually, I don't know that it has to do with you. I think it has to do with him. I think there might be something going on with him where he is second guessing himself in some sort of way. And is it, it's not long distance though, is it? It's just long term, not long distance. So I don't know that he, I think he's being presented with a crossroads that he isn't mentioning yet and doesn't quite know how to communicate it. Okie dokie, because I don't know if the parameters of your relationship have been set. Now, one of the things they want you to do, I actually think this might be really be bothering you because they're showing me you holding your tummy. Like this is actually making you feel a little bit sick to your stomach, a little bit, making you feel powerless. It's probably that it's making you feel powerless. They say distract yourself. That's actually what they say. Go do other things. Go do things that make you happy and make you feel beautiful and wonderful and the fully you, and then hope that he catches up to you. But they show it like you are focusing on him and he's not, and he's looking away. And I don't think that he's looking away from you as much as there's something else going on with him and you need to focus on yourself because that's the only way you can control how truly happy you can be. That's how they want me to put it. Okie dokie. Hello, Brianne. Hello, Teresa. Okie dokie. So I'm trying to be super random. I'm so random that I wonder if I've even answered this question for you, Brianne. Um, but I'm hearing either dad, father figure. So somebody in the male realm that is older than you, could even be your dad. I didn't hear grandfather though. I'd heard dad, father figures. Oh, not quite sure. I guess I'm going to assume maybe this is your father on the other side or something, but that doesn't feel right in my tummy. Strange. Okie dokie. Shows you walking down a hallway that is dark, and I don't entirely understand. It's almost like he's trying to recreate something for you, and I think it's actually to validate something. And it's very difficult for me to validate it because we're not speaking to one another directly right now. So it almost looks like I'm walking behind you and you are walking down the hallway to something, and it looks like my hallway. So it doesn't make much sense to me. I kind of think because it's the hallway to where I go to do my readings. So it could be that you're in a little bit of a darkness right now, walking down a hallway, because hallways can seem endless and hallways can seem the same all the time. And all you actually need to do is turn the corner, and that's what you're looking for. And I know that seems very, very vague, but maybe it actually doesn't seem very vague. Maybe you're like, okay, I know what he means by the hallway. I know what he means by the corner and blah, blah, blah. But Okie dokie. I'm actually hearing that you need to concentrate more on you. And that's what that is you concentrating more on what you need to do rather than doing the same thing in the darkness, it would seem. Getting out of the hallway. Okie dokie. Heather Hill would like any messages from her mama. Okie dokie. Now, I don't know if she just recently passed, but she immediately showed me what I would consider the last, I don't like to say deathbed, uh, but I just said it. So there it is. And she's holding your hand. So, and I, this, I don't know that that means that you were holding her hand when she crossed over or that you she was thinking about you when she crossed over, that no matter what you were there, but I kind of think you were there. And um she says she's communicating to you all the time. She's showing me your bathroom. They like to communicate in the bathroom. And I think mostly because, and it's always in the mirror in the bathroom, because when you're in the mirror in the bathroom, you're actually just thinking about getting ready. You're doing your hair, you're thinking about your appearance. You're not really thinking about anything else. So you're almost meditative because your mind is set on one thing. So they actually show that she shows me that okie dokie. That's funny. She said, those times you think you look like me, you are me. She's showing your faces back and forth, which I think you'd notice that. I think it would scare the living daylights out of you. But it might even be that you're looking in the mirror and go, oh my God, I look just like my mother. And then snap back and you realize, no, I look like Heather. And your mother's trying to come through in that sort of way. It's pretty impressive if she actually is doing that. And but it could more be that when you're there, that's when she can communicate with you. And she's showing me the face thing because she's trying to dramatize it or actually enlighten me visually as to what she's trying to say. It could be that she's squishing your face, that she actually puts your face on her face. It could very well be. I could be incorrect. I hope that's actually the truth. I hope she is doing something wild and crazy like that. But for the most part, it's that pay attention to what you're hearing, pay attention to the thoughts inside of your head when memories run through. And those would be messages from your mama. Because I don't know if she was a gentle soul, but she seems like a gentle soul. Ooh, I'm back. Okie dokie. Dang, MacBooks finger thing. If you have a MacBook, you know. Okie dokie. Now, I'm gonna go right down. Oh, there, right there. Tara Lee is going on a trip and she would like to know if everything is going to be okie dokie. Yeah, they tell me, yes, it most certainly is. In fact, it's going to be the funnest trip you've had in a long time. Well, yeah, might be the first trip you've had in a really long time. They actually want you. I don't know if you're a person who puts a lot of stock in crystals, but they actually show you bringing a crystal. In fact, actually, what it's it looks just like this, to be perfectly honest. It's a pink quartz that I see you holding, which quartz is very protective and this is love. So this could actually just remind you of home. Could be a little piece of home with you, which makes you feel protected and loved and all those sorts of things. And therefore gives you the idea that nothing's going to go wrong because how could it go wrong? I got this. That's actually what they show, which it makes perfect sense to me. When I do not want things to go a certain way, I don't think about them going that way. I think about them going the way I want them to go. Therefore, they will go that way because that's where I'm putting all the power and energy. They also, I'm not sure where you're going, but they're showing this. So look up is actually what they say. And I don't know what that actually means. It has to do with you'll miss something if you don't look up wherever it is that you're going. And bon voyage. I actually even hear congratulations on the trip, which it seems strange. Uh, oh, Yeah, I remember I talked about Sarah's artwork. She has 2 pieces up for auction, so that is very cool. Is the spirit in my home something I'm to worry about? My oldest screaming and in tears until I saged. Yes. Okie dokie. Been there, done that. Oh my God. And my kids blame me. Yeah, it depends. And because I have had people who have been left here, and then my children woke up screaming when they were little, things like that. Now that they're older and things wake them up, they handle it a little bit differently. Um, but uh, you might want to actually get a salt lamp for your child's room, maybe in the room or just outside of the room. You also might want to smudge the entire house. Also, because the way that they make it look, that you actually might have I actually think you might have a loved one who keeps coming and visiting. And it's kind of like if your loved one was a rat, the hole that they would get through is a certain size. And if bad spirits are mice, they're going to get through that hole even easier than the rat because the rat made the hole big enough for them to get through, if you know what I mean. So that's the way it happens here in this house, too, because the rested souls I speak to are not the type that are going to scare my children, but the gremlin like unrested souls that tag onto their coattails when they come through the door, they will antagonize and frighten your children. So all you need to do is they actually just show you. I actually here do a spell of protection. They do spells. It's like an intention. We can use the word spell for manifestation, but they show you actually walking around the outside of your house and asking that your house be protected from any negative energies and that only energies of light are allowed in. Because I actually don't think you want a closed door policy. And if it does not decrease and it does increase and maybe even changes to voices as well, call me. I'll come get rid of it. But for the most part, I think you can get rid of it yourself. And okay, just ask for messengers of light to be in charge. You can even ask the angels to be in charge. That's what our friend Erin would tell you. Okie dokie. I hope that helps. Okie dokie. Now, um, Patty, you say I would love a reading. If you could you ask about a certain specific person or specific question? And most definitely, I would be happy to read you. Good afternoon, Krista. Yes, like the Disney princess. Oh, it is Moana. Okie dokie. Thank you for clarifying. It's a great name, and you had it first. Look at you. Okie dokie. Back to the angels. Yes. And actually, okay. Thank you, Patty. And first thing I hear is you are in contact. You always have been, almost from the minute. And actually, the way she says it from the minute she was born. You might be her older sister, and she's saying it the whole, like, because I actually believe when she says it like that, what she's trying to say is from the minute she crossed, she could hear you. Um, sorry. She just likened it to when you're on your cell phone with someone, you can hear them talking away saying, well, I've lost you now, and blah, 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 blah. And you're like, I'm right here. I'm right here. That's what she's doing. She's this person saying, I'm right here. And you're the one. She's I use this term and it might sound derogatory and I apologize, but she's using it. Boo-hoo-hooing. Boo-hoo-hooing is when we cry and we can actually make the boo-hoo-hoo sound because you cry so much and that's why it comes out like that. So she's telling me you're crying you're crying from your guts. She thinks that you miss her so much. She thinks that you feel like you've lost half of you. I don't know if she was your only sibling and now you feel as though you are an only child. Her passing was untimely, she tells me. Um, she says, I miss you too. Um, okay, because she says, I'm not going to cry. She says, because I'm happy about where I am. Oh, gosh, she says, and you need to be too. That's some tough love right there. Um, okay. Now, huh. She's showing me I have like a witch's kitchen where I do spells, well, they're manifestations, but I use salts and herbs and things like that. And she's showing you do that. And I don't know if, and she says she's going to help you. So I don't know if you actually do spells or if you actually, if you cook or something like that, or you create something for other people in some sort of way, but she wants to help you do that, and she wants you to know she's there. She says, I want you to know I'm there. She wants doesn't she can't she doesn't want you to cry. She wants you to know that she's sitting right there beside you, and she wants you to revel in that knowledge. Yeah, I know. Yeah. She also okay. She says you're magical too, just find out how. Makes me wonder. Uh Okie dokie. She says, I love you. Um, she's you did a fine job as well. I'm not entirely sure what you did. She actually makes it look like you protected her body with a torch almost. Like you were like getting the wool so they wouldn't tear her apart. There's something like that that you have done. And actually she almost makes it look like you're standing outside a hospital making sure only the right people come in or something like that. They're you're outside the hospital. Um and okay, okay. She's going to work on the signs that she will give you. She's going to try to make it as simple as possible. And she just actually spoke to me. One of my sisters actually used to make up a language that only us and our family would know. And she just intimated towards that there's something, the way that she could talk to you that only you would know. And that is the way that she will talk to you so that you know it's her, so that you know what happens right after is a thing from her. She says, I'm going to do that for you. So that's her laying down that gauntlet of what she's going to do. But she is going to try to make it clear to you that it's her speaking to you. She might even whisper in your ear. And if she's only been there since February, just the fact that she's talking to me, this clearly is quite amazing. But if she can whisper in your ear when she's only crossed in February, that will be amazing. Absolutely shocking. That's only happened to me with those who have been over there a really long time. So I'm supposed to say be ready. Like she wants you to be prepared and ready for when she does start to contact you. I think she already is, but now it's going to be something that is, she says, an everyday basis. That's what she says. And she says, be careful what you wish for. Okie dokie. Oh gosh, it's 4:33. Okay. I'm gonna try to do this for probably okie dokie. Okay. Okay. Anything about my health from Nikki? Uh I I see your lady bits. Or at least where your stomach, uterus, sacral chakra, all of that is. I don't know if you're coming to that part of your life when menstruation might be dwindling or changing, or your body might be indicating something is changing within your body. But then I wonder if it's your intestines. And it, okay, so I see it as yellow, and yellow usually does mean illness or sickness, but it also denotes the solar plexus chakra. So if you are feeling in any way, because I think your health is fairly good, but it just seems like there's some sort of sluggishness. I immediately had wanted to go to your blood, but then it almost seemed more like a plumbing sort of situation with the bigger pipes rather than the little small pipes of your arteries and veins. This seems like it's they put it on either side here. They actually, this seems so generic, but I'm going to say it because I'm hearing it and it's not up to me to find out what's generic. They say probiotics. They say, and they actually show you drinking them. And it doesn't look like it's to make you poo. It actually looks like it's more to coat your intestinal tract because it looks raw. It looks red. And it might be to help to I hear speed things through, but it seems more like it will help to insulate you if you are having difficulties with getting things through without pain. Okie dokie. Now, okie dokie. Now, Lorianne, Barry's passing, and we'll be as specific as that just by saying by his name. We know who it is. If there's concern about how he passed. Is there question about how he passed? He shows everyone's all up in arms about me, and it seems like people go cuckoo when someone crosses over. They really, really do. And sometimes people vie for importance. Like they want to be the most important person to the deceased, or they want to be the most important person as part of the surviving group, or they want to be the most important person to the surviving spouse. These things happen because people get so freaked out about death that they have to find some sort of sense of control. And sometimes within that sense of control, what they do is absolutely shatter their existing relationships with other survivors. Barry tells me that's not entirely what's happening, but it's kind of close. It's somewhat what's happening. Um, and he's not even sure why it is going on. Um, he says, I'm okay. I'll always be okay. Uh, oh, okie dokie. And I don't know if he passed in his sleep. And is there one? Because he, I, I swear I heard him say, I'm not even sure how or why I died, which that's odd. It is. It's super odd. I mean, it reminds me of actually when someone is murdered, they can never tell me who murdered them. They can show me how they were murdered. They can actually, I had one woman, she was stabbed. She showed me the knife, but she could not show me the face because she was watching what was happening to her. It's really, really, really strange. And it doesn't matter to them anymore. And that might be Barry's thing too. It might not matter to him anymore. He might be more happy actually to talk to, I believe he's your cousin because I'm hearing cousin Lori. He might actually be more happy because you might have the only home that has a metaphysical leaning, that has actually got the roof off so that he can come in and visit with you. And I don't know that if you have a little altar for him or a little something that says, thank you for coming and thank you for leaving. Sorry, that was him. Thank you for coming. Thank you for leaving. But I kind of think he would like that. I actually kind of think he would like somebody to wave goodbye to him and say, I hope you have a wonderful time. I'm really jealous, because he says, be jealous of me. Hello, Tanya. So I hope that helps, Lorianne. If it does not, if there is still something that is ambiguous, you can message me more. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Now, Haley, when I go into your question, the top of my head feels like it's hurting. And I don't know if it means, I don't know if if you're opening yourself up right now and you're about to open your crown chakra, but this is what my crown chakra feels like when I'm trying to open it. When it feels as though it is like my skull's cracking, or my brain is growing up into my skull and trying to crack it, but that's what I feel. Um, Okie dokie. You might want to start writing in a journal. You might want to start testing your automatic writing skills because I actually think the messaging you're getting is I think the world around you is very quick moving and chaotic. So the messaging you're getting is very quiet and in here. And because of all this chaos, that's where your frontal lobe is. If you start writing during quiet time or reading time, because you have little babies, then actually they show this is actually what they said, your dreams coming true, which kind of makes sense a little bit because if you're trying to manifest a further connection to spirit, writing will actually start to do that for you because I actually think it's automatic writing they are expecting out of you. If you um Okie dokie. If you allow yourself to know what it is you do know, you will know more. And it can be very difficult when you're a mommy to know. So sometimes we have to take a little bit of time for us or do a little end run and work in our metaphysical work with our children. And that's kind of what they want you to do because I actually think you've asked for messages. Messages are starting to go through you, and you need to continue to pay attention to them, or they might back up a little bit, like they do in me. I always having them back up in me. Um, Okie dokie. Verna, immediately I hear keep fighting the good fight and believe it to be true. Do not, at this point, they show that Alicia feels that Nora is this far away from her fingers. She has to not feel that. She has to actually feel that nobody can get in between her and her baby, no matter what, even if geographically they're separated for a short amount of time. They want just keep on visualizing the two of them together. Keep on visualizing everybody being happy. Keep on visualizing a rainbow because sometimes we don't know how we can get to the thing we want. So we just have to concentrate on the thing we want. And I think with this situation, it seems dismal. And it seems as though that a bed was made that Alicia doesn't want to sleep in anymore. So we have to just get away from all of that. We have to just fast forward to the utopia that you would like to see and have, and therefore bringing that utopia closer to you. I hope that makes sense. Thank you, Heather. I am very glad if I gave you any sort of peace of mind. Okie dokie. May, and people ask about this all the time. They ask if their crossed over loved ones are the ones guiding them. They can add to your thing, but your guides are your guides. Your guides, from what I understand, actually marry up with you before you even come down here. You are part of a team, and you and your guides are kind of on the same trajectory. You're just the one who unfortunately got stuck in the meat suit. Uncle Harold could be helping you from the other side because it would help Harold from the other side. But I wouldn't call him a spirit guy, but he is helping you as best he can because I think you look like him. There's some sort of connection that the two of you had. It might be a name, but yeah. Um, Okie dokie. I see. Okie dokie. So, and actually, it's funny you say ghost realm, and I actually hear it as purgatory in my head. So, and I think it's the same idea. He believes she's an earthbound spirit at this moment. Now, I'm hearing that he might believe that because she is contacting him. I actually believe she is rested. I think he's concerned about her and she's concerned about him. And that is absolutely flippin' beautiful that both of them are more concerned about the other to help themselves. Um, I actually hear that she is well and rested and communicative, that, that she will go nowhere until she hears back from him. That's funny. But, she's not suffering. She's not anywhere where she is scared, and she is not without his love. Those are all things that I am supposed to tell him from her. Also, um, there's something he needs to let go. I'm actually hearing the Frozen song, let it go, that. So, yeah, I don't know if this was an incredibly shocking death. Um, it looks like it tore him to pieces. It looks like his heart ripped out of his chest when she passed away. And the desperation that he feels has blinded him to her. That's how they want me to put it. Because I think your brother isn't off track. I think he is, yeah. They tell me that he's doing a worst case scenario because he's so upset. And because he didn't know this was going to happen. There's something about that, his lack of control or his sense of control. Uh, from her, I actually even hear from to him, I'm right behind you. I honestly believe this is why he feels she's in the ghostly realm. I do. I just think she's an incredibly powerful spirit. And I don't know if that's her mother helping her or her grandmother, but there's a female that is helping her to communicate that might even make it even more big for your brother. Because I think your brother's connected. I actually think so are you, to be perfectly honest. Okie dokie. I hope that helps. Yes. I see, I see. Lorianne, so he died suddenly in aneurysm. That's how we lost my dad. And I'm sure my dad was flipping confused too when it happened. So, yes. Um, okay. Thank you so much, Verna. Okie dokie. Okay, honestly, Haley, the answer was, of course I am. Because she can. And actually, it's not only you, she's watching other people as well, because she's a busy bee. And she says, I say nosy Nate, not nosy Norma, but we'll go with nosy Norma because you're a lady. She's being a nosy Nate. Uh, Okie dokie. She says you knew she would, and she told you she would in a dream. That is what she said. Okie dokie. Now, oh, I'm gonna be signing off in 10 more minutes. Well, maybe a little bit less than 10 minutes. My brain hurts now. But I wanted to thank everyone for coming. I think that is absolutely wonderful. Everyone who came, because I really did not think I put the message out there enough for this live feed. I also, anyone whose messages I did not get to or questions I did not get to, please feel free to add it to the bottom if I cannot find it. And because I don't want anyone leaving untouched. Oh, here we go. Leah. Ah. Okay, Leah, I don't know. They're showing you actually doing a tarot spread for yourself. I actually will do that for myself because it's sometimes hard to differentiate between my thoughts and what my guides are trying to tell me. So sometimes I'll use cards or crystals or something like that so that it's a third thing outside of me that actually can reiterate what's going on inside of my head. They're showing that for you. They also, I don't know if you engage in the intuitive arts, but they're showing. So when I see that, it reminds me of a train. Trains are slow moving and they're methodical. And it might actually be that right now you're trying to raise your intuition or you're moving in the intuitive world. They want you to keep going with your progress because it's a constant progress. It really is. I'm 20 years in, and every darn day I realize how much I didn't know the day before. So, um, Okie dokie. Leah, you also might want to start telling yourself that you love yourself. That you might want to actually Yeah, and, I don't know if you're married. I kinda think you are because I think you might want to say, "I love you" to the person in the mirror, and then say, "I appreciate you" or "I love you" to your husband. You might think he knows, but I don't know that he does. That's kind of the way, and I don't know if maybe you don't communicate it well? I don't know. Alright, thank you very much, Leah. Okie dokie. It's hard with the general things. Um, oh wow, that is so specific. This is really Can you tell me what will happen on the 10th of June? Okie dokie. See, and with that, that's a very specific question, but I have no idea. The sun will come up, I know for sure. But actually, the first thing that came to my mind is the first thing that I will share. And the first thing that came to my mind was victory. So I don't know if you have a court case or something else, but they say victory will happen the 10th of June. But then it's bittersweet. It could be a victory that was born out of a tragedy, or because I see people crying having to do with the victory, but it might be that people are happy. So, like tears of joy. Um, Okie dokie. They show you packing for the occasion. So I actually on the island, I always say you have to take a suitcase everywhere you go because the weather is going to change every 15 seconds and you better be ready for anything. And that is what they're trying to tell you. Be ready for anything. The victory is key. But I think the way that they're showing it is it's much, much more complicated than that. That the human interaction or the human um, reaction. That's the word I'm looking for, not interaction. Reaction. That's a lot of pointing. I apologize. That the human reaction might actually be the thing that you're unprepared for. Because I rhubarb. Any of the actors out there won't know what that is. Okie dokie. Now, it's so funny how it's Mum Day, but it's so funny. Okie dokie. Um, Okie dokie. Tanya, anything from my mama. I think she might be coming to you in your dreams. She's showing me with you with a pad and a pen next to your bedside on your bedside table. So I actually think she might be visiting you in your dreams and she wants you to remember that you were there. I actually believe that strongly because she is now showing me times when my dad has visited me in my dreams. Now, in the time she's showing me, I knew it was my dad, but I didn't get to see his face at all. In fact, I only saw him to about here, and I was not like, I don't remember how much shorter I was than my dad because he passed so long ago. But I remember when he took me to the other side where he used to live, I remember very strongly his sleeve more than anything else. So, the reason I'm telling you that is so that if you have a recognition of a dream, and for me, they're always brightly colored. It's like I'm in The Simpsons or the Flintstones or something like that, where the sky is pink and the colors are bright and pastelly, not like we actually see in life. So I am telling you that, and I'm being told to tell you that because I actually think your mom is taking you over there, trying to show you her new place where she lives, and it's not entirely landing with inside of you, which makes perfect sense. I mean, I believe all these things to be true because my God, I must be insane if they're not, right? So that's why I believe them. When you are sane, then it can be difficult to allow that idea or information to come in. I hope that makes sense. Okie dokie. Barbara. Keep shining your light. And you know what I mean, young lady. And I'm pointing at you and I apologize, but you know what I mean. You know what light I speak of, and you know what light shines out of you. And Uh, I see the star people again. And I know that's actually you brought that up to me, but I see the star people thing, so they're reiterating it again to you, and I'm actually even seeing you say it to me. What are the star people or star seed, something like that. Um, Origin stories. That's where they want you to go with that idea and ideology. They want you to start recognizing what an ancient woman you are. And I don't mean biologically here. I'm not calling you old. I'm calling your soul old. Okie dokie. That's a good question. I have heard of the Akashic Records. I am somewhat familiar with it. I don't know that I am accessing them as much as I am accessing the pathways that my brain allow. I hope that makes sense. That's actually the way they told me to say it. Um, and I believe very strongly that sometimes we put I could be, let's put it that way. I could be, but not aware of the Akashic records in a way that tells me that is what I am following because I don't hear it like that. What I hear is that, sorry, I got somebody in my eye, that I follow the pathways of the information they're giving me. It's kind of like I'm walking through a forest or sometimes even an empty lot, depending on who I'm reading. Okie dokie. So I don't know if you can tell, but over this amount of time, I have gotten much, much more strained because it takes a lot out of you to do what we do. I am so incredibly grateful for everyone who came on to the feed. I am so incredibly grateful for all the questions that you guys asked. And I am so incredibly grateful for all the people that came through to give you guys the information that flew through me. I am so grateful. I thank you all so, so very much. And I hope you have a wonderful week. Erin and I should be back next week. Hopefully, it'll be both of us. If it's not both of us, it'll be one of us. Okie dokie. Thank you so very much, everyone, for coming and watching the live feed. Mwah! Namaste, everyone.